morning! It's game day! Game day? What is he talking about? It's not game day for most people, but it's game day for me because this is the day that I have a speech. Woohoo! You don't get to do that every day. Well, actually, I do get to do that every day because I get a chance to speak to you, for one, but I also have a ritual that I have to keep up with, and that is practicing my speech every day. So that is a big thing for me to be able to help other people in whatever way that I can. So, that's a big part of what I do. So it is game day. I'm excited that you're here with me for game day. So we've got about another 2 hours before, well, an hour and a half before we get on the call, but 2 hours when I actually start the speech, start to, give people what it is they want, what it is they're looking for, and just help them. So the goal in the speech that I'm giving today is to be able to start a new process, a new program, if you will. So I'll still go into my story of having brain surgery and losing my eyesight for 6 months, all that. But then I'll also begin to have a conversation with people about what makes them unique and how important it is to understand what makes us unique. If we can understand what makes us unique, then we're going to be able to do something with that. And we're going to, because that's what we should be doing. We should all be using our own gifts. What are we all about? Much like me, I mean, my gift is positive personality. I don't want to be negative. I don't like negative people. I don't like it when people come off to me negative. It's just, my wife Connie will tell you, it's not something that I want to be a part of. So the wink process is a good process, but we'll need to just continue to have a discussion about it today in this workshop. The workshop that I'm going to be doing today is for the Women of Economic Leadership Development. GREAT stands for WELD, or the short acronym is WELD. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Anybody listening on this, if you would please put in a hashtag live. If you're listening to this on replay, put in a hashtag replay. That way I know how things are going and what resonates with different people. So yes, it's game day, and game day means a lot. So last night my wife came home. She is just awesome. I had told her that I really wasn't happy with the lights in my office. So what she did is she went out and bought me 6 new lights. I mean, light bulbs, but I mean, still, they have much higher lumen rate, I think it is. So amazing. I just mentioned it to her, and she went out and bought them the next day. So that's why hopefully my lighting is a little bit better today. Hopefully you all on the online here can tell me if you're seeing my lighting is better than it was yesterday. So that would be great if you could do that. Hashtag live, hashtag replay, and again, put in your timeline a picture of you winking. And in that winking picture, tag me on it, so that's important. But then also put in a hashtag Brian with one eye and a hashtag of winking without Wagner. That would be great. Now, again, share these videos. Share them with anybody you can think of in order to allow them to get closer to what it is that makes them unique. We all know there is something burning on all of us that we know we want to do something. We want to be able to help somebody, but we're not really sure how. If you can use your unique skills, what makes you unique, what sets you apart, then you're going to be able to do that. You're going to be able to help people, and it's going to make sense, and you're going to be able to do it for a longer lasting time if you continue to go back to those resources that you have that are built inside of you already. Well, thank you very much for being here this morning. I'm really, really happy that you can all join us. But, I think a lot about this office and the office transformation that has happened for us here. And the transformation has been possible because I was able to change my mindset. Now, yes, I had people that helped me change my mindset, But again, it came back to me being flexible enough, and we all need to be flexible enough to change our mindset and to understand that there's something else out there. Now, for me, I went from a 100 square foot office to a 300 square foot office. For you, it may be something different. It may be, a different job. It may be a different career. It may be a different group of friends. I'm not sure. But think about what it is that you could do differently. Start off with real small. So start off with, where do you sit at the kitchen table or the dining room table or wherever you sit to eat? What if you sat in a different spot? That would change your perspective. And once you change your perspective, then everything's different. So that's getting you in the mindset of doing that, getting out of the habit of doing the same thing you've always been doing. So again, think about how you can change your mindset in a small way, like sitting at a different spot at the kitchen table. For me, it was a mindset change of, I looked at my back wall and I noticed that there was a light that really was kind of harsh light. And I thought about what could I do, and do I need to call an electrician? Do I need to, get some new lamps in here? Do I need to buy new lights and have it all, blaring it or whatever? No. Connie says to me, my wife, she says to me, why don't you just put a different bulb? You've heard the story before. It's phenomenal how I could have just said, no, that's not good enough. No, that won't work. No, forget about that. But I didn't. Maybe I did it first, but I didn't after a while. I began to realize that having a different mindset, having a different way of looking at things really would allow me to move forward. So I see some people have joined in here online. Let's see who all we have this morning. Wes Wyatt. Good morning, Wes. Live from Ohio. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, and the Wink workbook. So who here doesn't have a Wink workbook? If you don't have a Wink workbook, I highly suggest you pick one up because it's going to help you. Because what we do in the Wink workbook is we break down the Wink into an acronym. And the W stands for why is it important, what makes you unique. The I is for being intentional. So, for example, if what makes you unique and what sets you apart is something that you're doing, something you're trying to do, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to be more healthy, or maybe you're just working out and you want to continue to do that. Well, if you write that down, that's what you are. That's what your purpose is for right now. And if you write that down in those pages in the journal, then you can go on to the next part where it talks about intentionality. Intentionality means looking at something and being intentional about it. So there's always something that's going to get in the way. Whether it's if it's a diet you're on, if it's French fries or different sweets, all that's going to get in the way of your diet. If it's something else, it could be anything. So for me, with the news is what distracted me. That's what kept me from being a positive person. So the news first thing in the morning is toxic for me. So if I understood how to get away from that, at least first thing in the morning, set it off to the side, then I'd have a much better chance of being positive. And being positive with you all is so very important because you see me as a positive person. You see me as someone that gives you hope, that gives you a ray of sunshine. And that's who I want to be for you. Now, I couldn't be that if I stayed with the morning news. If I get away from it, then things will be better. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have negative thoughts. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have bad days. We all have bad days. But the more I can do to stay out of that, the better off I'm going to be. So that's why the I is for intentionality. The N, it's for a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at life. Again, my office is a classic example of a new way of looking. I first had this idea of getting a new office. And I'm like, Connie, can I move upstairs, move into the living room, and we'll put some doors on the living room, and that it'll be a little more enclosed for me. She saw me walking around with a tape measure one day. Like, come on. And she's like, what are you doing? And I explained to her what I wanted to do. And she's like, no, no. You don't need to add on to the house. You don't need to, go into the living room. You don't need to do all this. We have another space in the basement right across the wall from where you are. It's a 300 square foot space as opposed to the 100 square foot space that I was in. And she just made me realize that I could be in this space because I told myself, well, we need to have that space for the kids when the kids come home. The kids don't come home, not very often. And when they do, they're not spending much time in the basement. They're off with their friends or doing whatever, and that's fine. But I wanted to make sure that, I was not taking something away from them. And that was an excuse. That was a self-limiting belief. That was a blind spot that I had because I didn't think that I could take over the other side of the basement. Well, once I did, everything changed. Everything changed. I used to have a big soffit behind me that I'd run into, and I did a 180 from that. I turned my whole desk as a 180. So that's important for us all to think about how we can all do a 180. Do a 180 if we listen to other people and help other people in their journey as well. And that's another important piece of this, is not only listening to what other people tell you, but helping other people along their way. So again, it's game day. We got a lot going on, but I want to talk to you a little bit about what we have coming up. Big week. So again, it's already Thursday, but tomorrow we have a gentleman coming on, the Stroke of Genius, and his name is Michael Ray. And if you have not seen any of Michael Ray's videos on LinkedIn or Facebook, I highly suggest that you go out and look him up. It's Michael Ray, and he's with the Louisville Smile Project. And he's all about helping people to smile so much that when other people see him, you'll become this. Be so happy. Here's how he says it: be so happy that when other people see you, they become happy too. That's the whole idea. And he's a great guy. He's been on before, and we're going to have him on again. But I want to make sure that as many of you can join us tomorrow at 11:30 for the interview with Michael Ray. And Michael Ray may bring Maddie along with him. I'm not sure. But it's all about, this is the caregiver the caregiver podcast, where we talk about Stroke of Genius and how important it is for the people with the disabilities to understand, that how they're affecting caregivers and how the caregivers can be affected as well. And they are affected by what is going on. So it kind of helps you to get to the point where you need to know, you need to know certain, as a caregiver, you need to know certain things about the person with the disability. They can't always tell you, but if they can, that's going to help you. So we're all about helping other people in this show. So we're going to continue to do that. I'm looking forward to it. Big show coming up next Thursday. That's October 29th. We are going to have, get this, Dan Miller, the guy that wrote 48 Days to the Job You Love. He's an incredible guy. He's very, very financially well off, let's just say that. And I would tell you that he is a phenomenal guy. He wrote the foreword to my book. Actually, he wrote on the back cover of my book. Dan Miller is a great guy to have and to just listen to. So I'm looking forward to that interview, and hopefully you all can join us there on October 29th. So big stuff happening. And I want to make sure that you're all with us on this ride. Oh, and then another thing that we also should let you know, in order to win an autographed copy of my book. Sometimes it does take a brain surgeon. You just need to do what I already told you about taking your picture, posting it on your timeline, and then also there's the membership for a Radical Vision that you can be a part of as well. Now, why join the membership? I will tell you, the membership is one of those things that it's it is. Oh, hold on a second. I'm gonna get there. So the membership is a place where we all can go in order to move forward. We all can go for inspiration. We all need that inspiration. It's an important part of who we are. We can't just do this on our own. So I want to make sure that you join us with that membership. So the membership is where the videos are going to be available if you choose to go down that path, or there's going to be other inspirational posts that I'll do usually once a week in order to help other people to really begin to embrace their own personal blindness, to achieve a greater vision for their lives. That's what we all are all about. That's what we do every day. And I see someone else has joined us. Let's see who we got here. Oh, it's Randall Reeder. Good morning, Randall. Oh, you're looking good, Randall. I'm so happy that you have, Randall, you have joined us today, because I know a lot of what we talk about is very pertinent to what you talk about. And obviously, you know, with Will Rogers, it's a different kind of outlook, but still, there are things that we're not seeing that we should be. And that's where, and again, I think you mentioned this on your talk there yesterday, where you had this speech you gave to the Golden Gate Breakfast Club. In that speech, Randall, you mentioned how someone come up to you at one of your first NSA meetings or conferences, and they said, "You're Will Rogers." And I don't think you were at that point, but that's when you began to embrace the idea of being Will Rogers. So, you know, he showed you something that you hadn't seen before. So I want to make sure that everyone else knows the impact of having those relationships with other people that are maybe outside your comfort zone, maybe outside of your league at certain points, because they're going to help you, and they're going to help you to understand what makes you unique. And if you can understand what makes you unique, then you can do something with it to serve other people. Yeah. Thank you very much, Randall. Thank you. I appreciate you being on. So that's what I have for you today. I'm so glad you're on today. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow with the Stroke of Genius. Actually, we're going to have the Vision Alignment Show as well at 10 o'clock tomorrow. But join us for the Stroke of Genius, again, where we're going to be talking with Michael Ray, the leader of the Louisville Smile Project. Louisville. Some people say Louisville differently, but I say Louisville. Anyway, join us for that. Be considering how you can join us for our 10 o'clock call on next Thursday, the 29th, and that's with Dan Miller. I'm looking forward to it. I love you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being on. And as always, keep one eye on the road. Bye.